what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are on the outskirts of Motor City. What is Motor City? Of course, Detroit, Michigan. And we have that muscle car that people still yearn for. This is it. This is a 2022 Dodge Challenger. And guess what? We got it finally. This is a Challenger Super Stock. But before we get into this, made for the drag strip, live your life a quarter mile every single time of a car, let's talk about what's going on here. Dodge. You know, and you've had to have been living under a rock, in a cave, under the water to not know that this really is the true essence of a muscle car. Dodge really has done a fantastic job with the Challenger and the Charger. We brought you the Hellcats, Hellcat Red Eyes, Scat Packs, even the coveted Demon. This is our first full review of the Super Stock. Now let's talk about what's going on. With 2022, and when I say they, Dodge has brought out another special model called the Jailbreak. And the Jailbreak is kind of like a have it your way, option it exactly the way you want it. Colors, seatbelt trims, brakes, steering wheels. This though kind of builds upon the essence of the Demon. Now, the Dodge Demon, they only made for 1 year. 2018, they made 3,300 of them. 3,000 for the United States, 300 for Canada. A lot of people try to find one of those at Mecum, at Barrett-Jackson, and the prices are going crazy. This, though, is technically more powerful than the Demon. On pump gas, you're looking at over 800 horsepower, whereas the Dodge Demon, to get that 840 horsepower, you have to have the race fuel and the race ECU. Now, Demon you can't buy, this you can, but there's also the Jailbreak. So what I want to find out is, do you go traditional, pure drag strip racer with the Super Stock, or do you want the power, but also you want to have it your way with nice little special touches and aesthetics? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Go Mango, one of my favorite colors, especially for a muscle car, Go Mango Super Stock Challenger, and find out. Right off the bat, the way it looks, this is how I would option it. You have the Go Mango color, and we have that painted, not vinyl wrapped, satin black hood, roof, and trunk lid. Now, when we start at the front of the business, of course, you're gonna get that extra width. And whether you go Super Stock or Jailbreak Hellcat Red Eye, you're gonna get that additional 3 inches. Love the massive size of the splitter. Lori actually had her breakfast right off the corner of this splitter. Of course, oatmeal and a Twinkie. Everything flowing nicely into that fender flare. And then nobody does muscle car better. I don't care if you're Ford, I don't care if you're Chevrolet. This really, to me, is what people are gonna remember for years to come. Once these cars are gone forever, that this screams muscle car. Of course, you're gonna have the quad headlights, LED, daytime running lamps, turn signals, and those LED headlights. We got our SRT badge, street and racing technology. That is what brought us the Viper, brought us these Hellcats, Super Stocks, and everything else. Now, if you're wondering, why do they call it the Super Stock? That is actually a class in the NHRA series for cars that look stock, but have some extra goodies, and I promise you, this has a ton of extra goodies. Love the way they do the grille, same material, both top and bottom, and of course, all vents are functional. Now, with going Jailbreak, you can option different color badging and whatnot, but this has some special touches for the drag strip that the Jailbreak version does not have. We get up onto the hood, the twin air inlet, both are functional, satin black, painted, no vinyl wrap. This is how it was in 1970 when the Challenger first came out, and this is how it is today. And of course, you don't get just one bulge, you get 2 bulges. So guys, put the socks away. You got the bulges right here, ready to rock and roll. Now, when you come around the bend, what do we have that's unique to the Super Stock? This is it right here. 18-inch wheels. So instead of 20-inch wheels like on the Jailbreak, and you got your choice of the Sidewinder, the Viper wheel, everything else, this is your standard 5-star forged aluminum wheel, SRT badge. I like the dark granite gray color. These wheels are taken right off of the Dodge Demon. The reason why they go with an 18-inch wheel instead of a 20-inch wheel are because of these guys right here. We have from the factory Mitto Drag Radial tires. So what you're looking at are 315s, all 4 corners, 40 series sidewall. And if you notice, I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing it around a little bit and just show what we're working with for actual tread. These are truly drag radials right from the factory that are gonna give you that grip and stick at the drag strip. Now, to help save some weight off the front end of the car, we do have only 4-piston Brembo calipers. So on your Challenger, Hellcat, Red Eye, Jailbreak, those come with those massive 6-piston Brembos. These we only have 4-piston because remember, when you're drag racing, it's not like being on a road course. We want to save some of the weight off the front end of the car. Also, we have Bilstein specific adaptive suspension that is meant for the drag strip. What it'll do is it'll soften up the front, soften up the rear, and allow that weight transfer. So when you line up to the Christmas tree at the drag strip, you did your smoky burnout in the water box, this is gonna help launch the car from a dead stop to really give you maximum grip as you're going down the road. That's something different than the Jailbreak model, not the same suspension. But of course, we got that same fender flare, working our way down the side, past the 315s. Of course, we're gonna get our Hellcat badge. And yes, this is technically a Challenger Hellcat Red Eye Super Stock because there it is, ruby red eye there. That Hellcat's gonna rip the head off of any Mustang, that's for sure. Up top, that painted satin black roof. We got color matched on the mirror caps. That classic muscle car silhouette. I mean, this is it. This is the shape that just says, hey, I am a muscle car and I'm fine with that. Now, working our way towards the rear, you'll notice, like I said, we got 315s up front, 315s out the back. These things are super duper sticky, and I just love the fact that it comes like this from the factory. Another nice little classic touch to the past is our fuel filler cap door. Just like the original Challengers and Chargers back in the 60s and 70s, open that up, that's where you're gonna pump that gas. And remember, this runs on pump gas. You don't have to run race fuel like on the Demon. Then we get to the back portion. Love the way it's painted, roof, trunk, and then you're gonna get the drag spoiler. This really allows that extension. If you notice how much wider it is at the back, whereas your standard one kind of is a little skinnier and just sits up top, this really comes back and gives us some nice downforce for the drag strip, and then nice aerodynamics. To finish it off, you got your classic LED lights at the back. You'll notice how that rear spoiler extends up towards the heavens. And then the one thing I wish they would have done just a little differently is give me some different exhaust, for Pete's sakes. Something, I don't care what it is, dual exhaust, quad tips, 20 tips, just something out back. Now the great news is you are gonna get 309 gearing in that pumpkin out back to give us that awesome launch. But let's go ahead, see what's gonna give us the growl of this Hellcat. Let's pop the hood and check out that Hemi supercharged V8. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do, of course, have hood struts to keep that hood open, but it's not about the hood, it's about what's underneath the hood. Check it out. It is the final days of that power plant. That's that 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi V8. When it first appeared, 707 horsepower, and people thought that that was earth-shattering and mind-blowing. Our super stock, like I said, on pump gas, 807 horsepower, 707 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to only a Torque Flight ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. If you could hook it up, 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, quarter mile's gonna go by at 10.1 seconds at 131 miles per hour. Now think about this. If you owe Dom Toretto a 10-second car, he'll gladly take this one right off your hands, and so would I. The crazy thing is, top speed, Jailbreak version is going to blow this one out of the water. This one, because of the tires that it's running, especially the 315s up front, top speed is limited to 168 miles per hour, but that is only tire limited. Obviously, the Challenger Jailbreak will do about 200 miles an hour. So quite a bit difference, but this has a totally different intention. The vehicle is not light. And that kind of ties in with the true essence of a muscle car, 4,454 pounds. If you're worried about MPGs, I will show you a Prius that will be right up your alley, but this gets 13 MPGs in the city, 22 on the highway. Remember, we have revised powertrain calibration. We have that asymmetrical LSD, limited slip diff with 309 gearing. And we have, of course, the SRT power chiller, launch assist, launch control, and line lock. That's all drag racing technology plucked right from the Dodge Demon and pumped into the Super Stock. But you know what? We got a supercharged V8. I don't know about you. If you're ready, I'm ready for a little eargasm action. So let's fire up the Super Stock and hear its roar. Guys, we're inside this Go Mango. I love the names. That's another thing that Dodge does so well, are the names to the colors. Go Mango Super Stock version of the Challenger. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I saw your review of the Challenger Jailbreak from the New York Auto Show. I like the touches, but there's something about the Super Stock that's just pure. And it reminds me of the Demon without having to go to an auction and pay crazy amounts of money for a Demon. How much is this Super Stock? So the way that this one is optioned, you're looking at an MSRP of right around $97,000. Let's see how it stacks up to the Jailbreak and even the Demon to the door panels. So this one has your premium material, nice smooth finish, white contrast stitching, that microfiber suede material, soft armrest, and what I like is you have a large pocket on the back side of the door panel. Those are for 3 Twinkies for the doors that you blow off the competition. After you blow their doors off, fling them a Twinkie. It's the least you could do. And then the cup holder is nice and large for a can of NOS energy drink. Yes, nitrous oxide, NOS energy drink. Going from the door panel to the dash, I'm gonna zonk the badge. It should say Super Stock. I don't know why it doesn't say Super Stock, it just says SRT. The Jailbreak version says Jailbreak, so I would like that to say Super Stock. We have more of the smooth finish, and then we get to the infotainment. I know what you're gonna say. Joe, they have not changed it, and you are correct. I wish they would have, at least for the last couple of years, gave us the 10.25-inch screen and the Uconnect 5, but what are we left with? We're left with an 8.4-inch system that is the older system, but it still has a lot of drag strip goodies. You got that ease of setting your launch control for the perfect launch down the strip. I love the way it's got your post-race checklist because you want to make sure your Super Stock is running fine. Then we go into performance pages. I'm gonna zonk it. It just takes a little too much time. I would like a little quicker reaction. We got all of our engine data readout. What I like is you go into gauges and you could actually adjust the gauges for what you want it to say. I set it up just like this because these are super important. A special oil pressure, if you see that number get too low, shut her down or you're gonna blow that engine. Then we could go right back to home, and here we are. And if you don't want, like I said, if you don't want that certain gauge, we could go into our gauges. How about boost pressure off that supercharger? That's what I'm talking about. Look at that, that's crazy. I like to see stuff like that. And then how about backup camera? Now I know you're saying, well, Joe, at the drag strip we're going straight forward. Why do we need reverse? This is important to get into maybe the water box, maybe line it up perfect at the Christmas tree. I wish the resolution was a little bit nicer. That's just another thing that I wish they would have done a little bit better. And then of course you got launch control and you got your drive modes. We're gonna be going full track. Look at that, 807 horsepower. Working our way down, we got that bright stop start button, fire that beast up. We got real knobs, buttons, and all controls. Makes it easy when you're at the drag strip. You don't have to do like a secret code to get your launch control. You just hit the button and you're ready to rock and roll. We have a nice little cargo net over here and a very important 12 volt. You're gonna wanna get yourself a quality radar detector because this car might get you into a little bit of trouble. Plus you're gonna wanna have a Twinkie here for your passenger. One of the things with a muscle car, especially one with 807 horsepower, the launch is gonna shove them back in that seat. it may upset their stomach. Here's a little trick. Give them a Twinkie and some of that NOS energy drink. That'll settle it up so they don't puke in this beautiful interior. Transmission, only available with the TorqueFlite 8-speed, but you know what? It's a great transmission. My one zonk is I wish they would have brought back the pistol grip shifter. That would have been killer. You get a nice little area for your time slips so you can keep your progression and watch how you're progressing. Real carbon fiber. This is not faux. This is not painted. It's not a sticker. Real carbon fiber. 2 cup holders. And then, of course, we got the red key. 807 horsepower. That button is for your passenger or the competition when they're freaking out. Soft material on the armrest. I love the way the stitching flows. Open this up. You got felt lining, 2 USB-A's, an aux jack, a 12 volt, and enough room for a glass jar to keep all the tears of your competition when you blow them away at the drag strip, especially the Mustang and the Camaro owners, maybe even a C8 owner. Make them cry. Put the tears in the jar. Seats. They're like a lazy boy, but you know what? They're nice leather. Good bolstering for the drag strip. You got more of that microfiber suede material, the SRT badge. Manual controls, though, for the passenger, both on the bottom and the back. I guess the great news is that's going to help cut weight. You know what else is going to cut weight? Watch this. Bam! Rear seat delete. So for $1, you could delete the rear seat. I like the way they give you a cargo net so you can keep some stuff back here and it's not all flying around. But this is how a Super Stock should be, is rear seat delete. And we got full Alcantara material up top. That microfiber suede material, soft, looks great. But why don't you come over here, because guess what? I got a name, not with your name on it. I wish I had my name on it, but it's got SRT over here. Come on over, I want to show you. All right, guys, business time, behind the wheel. This is where you want to be sitting to have your on-throttle excitement. Now, the great news is that you have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. Plenty of room in here. If you can't make it happen in a Challenger, it ain't going to happen for you in a Mustang or a Camaro. How about the pedal box? The good news is you get a nice large aluminum brake pedal and throttle. The one thing I have to zonk, though, is the size of the dead pedal. Very small, and it would be nice to have that aluminum finish down there as well, but they didn't do that. So definitely gonna zonk it. We do have power seat controls for the driver. The problem is they're only the bottom portion. The back of the seat is still a manual control, so I don't know why they did that. Definitely gonna have to zonk that, but I love the amount of room. And then the steering wheel. Alcantara almost all the way around. I love the way you got the contrast stitching. What I don't love, and I zonk, is this piece of plastic. Give me the carbon fiber. I got carbon fiber here. Give me the carbon fiber and give me a blacked out SRT badge. Get rid of this. We don't need chrome in here, especially on the horn button. You do got paddles, metal paddles to go up and down that TorqueFlite 8-speed automatic. And what's surprising is this is actually an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Dash, though, is a little bit of retro cool and contemporary newness. So you have your retro tack and your speedometer with that speedometer gauge that goes up to 220 miles per hour, if you could produce the power. And then in the center, you got a nice digital display to get all of your digital readouts at the push of a button. Important to have all that information. No head-up display and no kind of like shift lights that's on the windshield. That would have been a nice touch, sort of like on my Shelby. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the trunk and see what you could put in there for your perfect drag day experience in this Challenger Super Stock. All right, guys, time to get into the trunk. And you know what? Even though this is a muscle car, it's important to have a proper trunk, and this one definitely wins it hands down against a Mustang or a Camaro. Tons of room so that you could bring a jack, some jack stands, maybe an air compressor, all the things that you're gonna need to really fine tune everything to give you that perfect run down the strip. Plus, what you could even do is maybe run some ballast and kind of move the weight around back here to see how that's gonna affect the weight transfer and you launching it. But you know what? I hope you have your towel ready, because I definitely do. If you're ready, I'm ready. We're gonna go on throttle in our Dodge Challenger Super Stock. All right, guys, we're in the 2022 Dodge Challenger Super Stock. Nobody's behind us. I'm gonna come to a little bit of a stop here and we're gonna go on throttle just real briefly. Are you ready? I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, yeah! them if you got them. I kind of put some heat into those Mitto Drag Radials before we hit record on the camera to give us a little bit more grip, but you could really feel the suspension, those Bilstein dampers that are meant for the drag racing setup, doing their business so well, transferring the weight to the rear to give you that nice weight transfer to get you off the line and get you going. Hearing the hum of 807 horsepower is just mind-blowing. It really is. And the fact that this car can idle in traffic, can go slow if you want to, or then you can turn up the wick, really is a testament to what Dodge is bringing to their muscle cars. And as we go towards electrification, it's a shame that these cars are going to be disappearing. The one thing I'm also finding about the Super Stock is that with those massive 315s up front, it actually is fun to drive on a curvy road. So that's another little facet, is that you kind of get those best of both worlds kind of scenarios. But let me go on throttle once again from a dead stop. Are you ready? I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. It's cool because you have that anti-wheel hop technology. I could actually feel the system working to cut down on wheel hop and to give you that launch. Wheel hop and poor weight transfer, it hurts you off the line, and that's what we're trying to combat. On top of that, having that technology taken from the Demon and brought to the Super Stock to keep everything within proper operating temperatures is super important as well. These seats are comfy, great for the drag strip, not so much for a road course. So you're not getting a lot of lateral grip here, but definitely from a comfort standpoint, it's phenomenal. And I love the performance pages. It's great to have all that information and be able to go into the different modes very, very easily, no matter what you're wanting to do with your Challenger Super Stock. Now, if you want a little bit more personality on the interior, then you're gonna wanna go Jailbreak, because then you could kind of pick your seatbelt color, pick your different wheel style, all of those goodies specific for your particular Jailbreak edition. This is kind of how it is. It's set up the way that it's set up, and it's ready for the drag strip. All right, guys, this road is really what you want, that nice straight road for the Super Stock to do its thing and really allow you to see the technology that is with this Challenger Super Stock. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Golly! There's a difference between the Pirelli P0s in your Jailbreak trim compared to this Super Stock. Those Mitto Drag Radials hook up like you got tar, hot tar that you would normally put on your roof. Actually have hot tar just all over those tires, keeping you stuck like Gorilla Glue. It really allows you to just nail that throttle, go on throttle, whether from a dead stop or a roll, and get the traction, the grip to the ground, and you are off like a cruise missile. All right, guys, once again, on throttle. I love hearing those tires. A chirping tire is a happy tire. You got the supercharger whine that's just screaming from underneath that double bulge hood. And this really is just the perfect setup for a muscle car. I mean, this is what it's all about, looking out over that hood, seeing those massive bulges, because you know underneath you got that supercharged Hemi, and we got a rear seat to lead on top of that. Really enjoying it. It was definitely worth the wait to get our hands on one of these Super Stocks. It's been a while. It's been almost a 2-year journey to track one of these down. And that's the thing, is first year, 2020, they only produced a little bit more than 100. 2021, it was about 560. Who knows what 2022 is gonna bring, but it's definitely less than the Dodge Demon. Because Dodge Demon, like I said, here in the United States, 3,000 examples. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a time here in Motor City with this Challenger Super Stock. I definitely want to thank Darren, David, and the rest of the Dodge team for getting us access to this Super Stock press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna take your dough and put it on the Super Stock, or would you rather go and kind of have it your way with the Jailbreak version? Let me know which way you want to live your life a quarter mile at a time. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. We definitely got to give it to the muscle power behind the camera. That's LG Raiti doing it like a champ. Show Lori some love in that comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.